Hey my friends, welcome. Today we're going to make some fake beignets. So I'm going to use my foam clay for this project. So just condition your clay. And then I'm going to add some territorial beige. Not too much, I just want to give this a base color so that it's not white. And then a drop of yellow. So now I'm going to roll this out. So I'm going to cut these into squares. I'm going to make 3 beignets, so I'm going to cut 6 squares. I'm trying to get them about the same size, but I can kind of work with my clay once I put them together to make them fit properly. So I'm not too worried about it, but try to get them as close as possible to the same size. Okay, so these are puffy. So what I'm going to use to make them puffy, instead of having to use a ton of clay, I'm going to use my polyfill. So I'm just going to take a piece and I'm going to grab a couple of squares. So I'll just stick this inside and then put a square over the top and then press it together around the edges. If you have any polyfill sticking out, just trim it off with your scissors. We don't want hairy beignets. So I'm not worried about the seams on these because when they get fried, they kind of have lines along the edge anyway from where the dough was cut. So I'm not too worried about the seams showing because I'm going to add some more texture like that on the sides anyway. So I'm going to take a toothbrush and give this a little bit of texture with that. They are fried, so they have a little bit of texture, but they're kind of on the smoother side. So for the side texture, you can texture it with your X-Acto knife or clay blade, toothpicks. You just kind of want it to have some lines. And a bit more texture than the top has. Let's mix up our shading color. So we're going to use territorial beige, harvest orange, and yellow in about the same amounts each. And then I'm just going to get most of the paint out of my brush so I can dry brush this. I noticed that right around the edge here seems to get darker than the center part. So just keep that in mind when you're painting if you want it to look realistic. Okay, so now we need to put the powdered sugar on. So I'm going to use joint compound powder. I wouldn't recommend using Mod Podge because, and I've used it on projects in the past like this, but the thing is, it doesn't stick forever. So then your baby powder or whatever starts to come off. So I'm going to use my foam and poster board adhesive The one thing you want to keep in mind with this though is that it dries glossy. So you don't want to put it anywhere where you aren't going to put the powdered sugar. Otherwise, it's going to ruin the look of the beignet. So I'm just going to spread this around lightly where I want the powdered sugar, and then I'm just going to sprinkle it on. And that's all there is to making fake beignets. If you want to see some other pastries, be sure to check out my fake Danish tutorial that is on the screen right now. Click that and you'll go right to it. Thank you so much for watching. Have an awesome day, and I'll see you next time.